Hi, in this video we are going to talk about the payments module of TranZact. Payment module is used to track the accounts payable and accounts receivable of a company. So whenever a company creates an invoice, credit note or debit note, it effectively means that it either has to pay another company certain amount or it will be receiving certain amount from another company. So the amount that a company owes to other is called accounts payable, and the amount that the company has to receive from somebody else is called its accounts receivable. So over here in this example, suppose a company A creates invoice of 1,000 rupees for company B. Now the B owes 1,000 rupees to company A. But suppose the company A realizes that there has been certain mistake in the invoice and they have by mistake charged 100 rupees extra. So now A creates a credit note of 100 rupees. Now this 100 rupees is set off against the invoice, and now the B no longer owes 1,000 rupees, but it owes 900 rupees. Now, so account receivable for A is 900 rupees and accounts payable for B is 900 rupees. In this slide, we are going to talk about the flow of money against each document. So over here, as we can see that when an invoice is created by a supplier S for B, the supplier S first sends the invoice to B, and then the company B sends money to supplier S. So first the invoice is sent and then the money is sent by B to S. In case of ARV, first the money is sent from the buyer to the supplier, and after the supplier receives the money, advanced amount, they send the document called ARV to buyer. In case of credit note, the supplier generates a document and sends the document credit note from S to B, and essentially it means that the supplier has to pay certain amount to B. So after the document is generated, either it is set off against the invoice, but if the payment of the invoice has already been done, then supplier has to pay the money to the buyer. So the money flows from supplier to buyer. In case of debit note, the supplier sends the document debit note to buyer and the buyer sends the money to the supplier. So out of these four cases, we can see that in case of ARB, first the transfer of money happens and then the document is created. In all other cases, you can see first the document is sent and then money is transferred. And in case of credit note, the money flows from supplier to buyer. In all other cases, the money flows from buyer to supplier. So these are two unique cases that we need to keep in mind. This is how the payments dashboard looks on TranZact. So over here, we can quickly see what is the total receivable, total payable, how much is overdue receivable, and how much is overdue payable. So this is the receivable section. Now, if I want to see how much payments I have made or how much I have received, over here I can see how much I have payments received and how much payments I have made. So we can very easily filter from here, filter or sort the table from here. If I click on this bubble, then automatically the filters are applied to tell me what is the total receivable. Now suppose if I have to log a payment, what I do is I just click on the invoice and I click on log payment. So we can see that we can log payment against multiple invoices, but all those invoices should be from a single company. So over here, the fields that are compulsory is that I have to enter how much payment I have received, what is the payment date, what is the account number, and the mode of payment reference number. So these are the fields that we need to enter. This mark paid is a important thing. Suppose instead of 34,000, I received from a company 33,900 rupees. So you can see that the amount is, I've not received the full amount. So this mark paid is unchecked. However, in certain cases, what happens is a company pays, so say, for example, the invoice is of 10,001 rupees. Then the company might pay only 10,000 rupees. Although it's not the whole amount, but you know that you are not going to receive the 1 rupee, right? So what you do is you log the less amount and you click on mark paid. So the invoice is no longer shows as receivable or payable, and it is mark fully paid. So this is how payment is logged. The next section we are going to see is the company ledger. This is a very critical section. What typically happens between businesses is that sometimes a company calls up another company and says, okay, send me my ledger. What if it effectively means is it asks the company to send me a list of all the documents that we have exchanged, such as invoices, credit note, and debit note, along with the payments that have been made or received. So in that case, what the company does is it comes over this section, selects the company, and generates the ledger. So over here, I can see that for this company, how much money has been debited, how much credited, and how much is the balance. So all the details of all the documents you can see here, payment, invoice, payment. So everything is mentioned here and they can easily download it and send it across. So we need to make sure that the companies are able to use this section effectively, because this is a common use case for every company. The last section that we are going to see in payments module is payment split. So payment split is a concept that has been introduced in TranZact to manage the cases where the companies will receive money or give money from somebody else than originally intended. So for example, I generated an invoice of say 1,000 rupees for a company, right? But the company is saying that, okay, we are not going to pay you the whole amount, 1,000 rupees. We'll pay you the 600 rupees, and 400 rupees you have to collect from my agent. So now what I do that in my system in TranZact, originally it was showing that I have to receive 1,000 rupees from that company. But now I will split the payment into two and say that, okay, I'll get some 600 rupees from the counterparty and 400 rupees from the agent. So this example is shown here. So X creates an invoice 1,000 rupees for Y, and then X splits the receivable. So now Y owes 600 rupees to X and Z owes 400 rupees to X. So where is this feature used? So mostly this is used to manage TDS, or tax deducted at source. What it means is, suppose a company has given me a service of rupees 10,000, so for example for painting. So when I have to pay the money, I don't pay the whole 10,000 rupees to the company. It's a government rule. I have to deduct 10% TDS. So I deduct 1,000 rupees TDS and pay to the government, and I pay the balance 9,000 to the company. So this 10,000 rupees now got split into two, 9,000 that I have to pay to the company and 1,000 rupees that I have to pay to TDS. That's how this feature is used in TranZact. Over here, we can see how a simple split is done. So I select an invoice and I click here, split. So I just select TDS. So we can add other options as well. So it cannot be done from front end. You have to request the support team. They will add other options for you. I'll say that, okay, I'll deduct 2% TDS. And here you can see that a TDS amount has been shown. And if I click on save, this invoice will get split. So I can do multiple splits as well. I can split multiple invoices. I can split an invoice into 2 or 3 sections as well from here. That's it from payments module. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.